The cultural conflict surrounding Harry Potter today offers a revealing window into the broader struggles that define our era. Beyond the surface quarrels about a beloved book series or a video game, lie deeper anxieties about belonging, authority, and the stories that shape collective imagination. What has long been a story about magic and friendship and the battle between light and darkness has become a contested mythos, fought over in symbolic gestures of outrage, exclusion, and performative grievance. Recently, the publisher Czech Games found itself at the center of this storm. Its announcement of Return to Hogwarts, a new Harry Potter edition of the popular party game Codenames, was met with a ferocious backlash on social media platforms like Blue Sky. Activists immediately demanded a boycott, condemning the company not merely for association with J.K. Rowling, but for daring to rekindle a cultural touchstone they have declared off-limits. Though the publisher's statement acknowledged the painful views expressed by Rowling herself, expressing an abstract sympathy with those hurt by the creator's public stances, this gesture did little to calm the storm. For we know the pain that was offered appeared as a mere ritual, a performative appeasement that failed to satisfy the fervor of the mob. This phenomenon, while specific in its particulars, mirrors a more general pattern of cultural gatekeeping characteristic of our postmodern movement. The outrage does not primarily stem from direct harm inflicted by the creator's views, but instead serves as a badge of membership within a particular cultural faction. The performance of grievance becomes a ritual of boundary maintenance, marking insiders from outsiders and the righteous from the heretics. In this way, Harry Potter is no longer simply a narrative. It has become the ruling mythology for a generation grappling with fractured allegiances and lost meaning. David Green, also the YouTuber The Distributist, captures this predicament with profound insight. He likens those who once embraced Hogwarts to exiles, forced to walk away from an institution that has become hostile, bureaucratic, and hollow. For Green, the post-Hogwarts world is a wilderness that demands psychological separation from the old narratives. No longer can one cling to the institutional roles or labels that once shaped belonging, yet neither can one abandon all that came before. The challenge is to find a new life amid exile, recovering something true and beautiful beneath the ruins of a broken order. The allegory of the Malfoys, once powerful, now dispossessed, serves as a metaphor for contemporary dissidents who find themselves alienated from the dominant cultural currents. And like the Malfoys, these exiles must navigate a world where the old rules no longer apply, where alliances with former enemies may become necessary, and where nostalgia for a lost golden age threatens to trap them in a funeral procession for a dead dream. Green's call is clear. Acceptance of exile, the courage to walk away from the enchanted castle of Hogwarts, and the pursuit of new meaning beyond the confines of institutional magic. Meanwhile, YouTube commentators like The Wade Show with Wade in his cultural commentary highlight how the Harry Potter myth functions in the public imagination. He observes how the narrative is framed as a simple morality play.
Harry Potter is basically the ruling mythology of millennials. The Distributist on YouTube made a video about this. You've got the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Malfoys and their secret group of magic racists, the Death Eaters. Then on the other side, you've got a young ragtag group that includes a mixed-race girl, a poor kid, and the teenage messiah. And of course, they defeat the racist Death Eaters and their leader with a German-sounding last name. And they didn't even need billions of American tax dollars.
This framing, as Wade notes, operates as a kind of cultural shorthand for ongoing political conflicts. The Harry Potter mythos has become a stage where real-world battles over race, sex, and power are symbolically being reenacted. And what is striking in this scenario is how the narrative's complexity has been flattened into a binary struggle, and any divergence from the accepted script provokes immediate censure. The recent controversy surrounding the Hogwarts Legacy video game and J.K. Rowling herself illustrates this point vividly. Criticism is not offered as nuanced reflection, but as an act of symbolic expulsion. The accusations often do take the form of moral panic performances designed to signal allegiance answers, rather than to engage in genuine dialogue. John De La Rose, in his coverage of the Czech Games predicament, situates this phenomenon within the broader pattern of cancel culture targeting Harry Potter-related products. The backlash is less about specific harms and more about controlling the terms of cultural participation. The demand for cancellation, boycotts, and harassment functions as a ritualized purging, a symbolic excommunication of anyone who deviates from the orthodoxy of the moment. This ritualized exclusion speaks to a deep-seated fear of the power that stories hold over us. As Green suggests, there is a terror embedded in the idea that Harry Potter's narrative might challenge prevailing assumptions or open spaces for alternative ways of seeing the world. The institutional magic of Hogwarts, once emblematic of wonder and learning, has now become a site of ideological policing. Those who walk away from Hogwarts, whether Malfoys or dissidents, are not simply rejecting a fictional school, but the entire apparatus of sanctioned meaning it represents. At the heart of this struggle lies the question of the numinous, the mysterious transcendent quality that once infused stories of magic and fantasy. By its critique of modern fantasy, echoed in Green's essay, points to a loss of this numinous quality in the sanitized, formulaic narratives that dominate today. The enchantment has been replaced by commodified spectacle and ideological branding. The magical world has become a bureaucratic playground rather than a place of spiritual challenge and discovery. To recover from this cultural exile requires embracing the discomfort of wandering the wilderness beyond the institutional fortress. It means shedding the performative grievance rituals that bind participants to endless conflict and instead cultivating a love for truth and curiosity. It means acknowledging the shadows and the chaos that coexist with light and order, and resisting the temptation to reduce complex realities into caricatures. In this light, the controversies surrounding Harry Potter, the backlash against Hogwarts' legacy, and the cancel campaigns targeting related media become symptoms of a larger crisis. They reveal how cultural power is exercised through symbolic violence, how belonging is policed through ritual outrage, and how myth continues to shape the collective soul, even when cloaked in the guise of entertainment. And as dissidents and exiles, our task is not to lament the fallen castle, but to step beyond its gates with clear eyes and steady hearts. To rediscover the numinous is to find a new enchantment, not bound by the tired scripts of old borders, but open to the unpredictable grace of wild places. In those places, dragons may yet be faced, treasures claimed, and new stories forged. Stories that can withstand the trials of exile and the tempests of culture wars. But above all, our imperative is love. Love for truth in all its complexity. Love for the curious spirit that refuses to turn away from mystery. And love for the possibility that real magic might still be found in a world too eager to dismiss it.